Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get into using Google Classrooms and then connecting to Go Guardian, which would be absolutely fantastic. So let's go to Google Classrooms first. So you'll click here. Hopefully you're logged into your email. This is my educator's email. That's where everything is set up. So I'll go straight to Google Classrooms. Close this, and here we go. Here are the classrooms that I currently am either sharing or that I have myself. So the ones that I have myself, I'll go to Epic 2019-2020. And right here, for those who aren't aware of, this is basically where updates happen, and there's a way, this is where you can check for any messages from students as well. It's nice for them, now these updates, they get directly emailed, which is an absolutely beautiful thing. And let's go to classwork. And so here's where I go ahead and post up and organize their schedules, their assignments. So I have here home learning schedule, meditation. I have here their reading info, hero activities, accelerated reader books, learn and create, tips, cheat codes, and pro strategy. So here I have different things to help them to move forward in their assignments. So for example, I have here a video on how to follow an audiobook using what I call their cheat code or their story hacker chart. And basically I have it, I click here, they can go ahead, they'll have access to all of this, so they can go ahead and download it. So this is for the book, I believe it was Terrible 2, yeah, Focus is Terrible 2, and they got a chance to go ahead and follow through the plot stage. We have exposition, the beginning of the main problem, conflict or problem. So I was encouraging them to download this, and they can go ahead, as they're in that part of that stage of the story, they can write down what the author's purpose was, and then when they take their AR test, they'll be very prepared. And I already went ahead and set these examples for them, and I included an area for visuals. And the reason for this is because they have been working on audiobooks, and that's definitely been a challenge for them, because they get distracted. It's a new skill they're building neurologically. So let me get out of here. And it's fantastic to go ahead and basically you create an assignment. So let's say I want it to be an assignment. And I can go and say quiz 3, or I could say, that's not really typical of me. So I'll do I'll do something like a exploration on the self through poetry. And then I can go ahead and give explanations here. First, listen to the song, song by Demi Lovato, I think that's how you spell her name, called I Love Me. And then I can get into more details, and then here's where I can go ahead, if I want to create Google Docs, slides, sheets, drawings, or forms, I can, but oftentimes I already have things done, so I'll just go to add, and I'll put in that file, and this will pop up, and it'll ask me to select from my device, and here I'll go into whatever might be helpful, okay? Or needed, excuse me, or I can go to the other option. I can go to YouTube, and I can put in that YouTube video. I can go ahead and go to a link if I want to go ahead and put in a certain website link, and of course there's also a Google Drive option. So I can go I can take stuff from my Google Drive. So let's say I have videos here. Now this is math related, but let's just I can. Oh, here's a cupcake poem. So let's try this one. And I can go ahead and add this cupcake poem, and then when they go ahead and, as they're learning how to write poetry, they can click here, and this will pop up for them. This cupcake poem, and they can go ahead and take a look, and hopefully these examples will serve them. And whenever I give examples, I like to highlight, hey, here's some science fact, history fact that I embedded into my poem. And let me close this. So I'm gonna X out of this assignment. I didn't want to save. Oh, it has a draft for me. I'm gonna go ahead and just. Well, the nice thing is then I can finish it later, but I'm going to delete it. And what we'll do is we'll. Yes, let me delete that assignment. We will go ahead and take a look at some examples here. So I have here some hero pages for them, and I have images for them to go ahead and use. They can print them, or they can just answer the questions. I make announcements here. I even put a morning meditation for them, and this was about a good 15-minute video. Go walk them through the meditation. I have here our home learning schedule, images on how our schedule looks. I have here the latest assignment for them, all the different steps. And then I have here a walkthrough video. I have here a mystery science connecting video, some poetry for them to look at. We went over also on our video calls, and some YouTube videos on the chemistry of cooking. So this is everything that they need. And so let's take a look at when they have an assignment that is due. So let's do the science of gratitude here. So I have so far 6 turned in, and the nice thing is it's out of 20 points. It lets me know who turned theirs in. And then I can go ahead and click here, for example, and if anything they're missing, I can go ahead and I can make comments, private comments here. Add a private comment. And then so I turned in this and late. I want the painting to be perfect. And and so I can tell they're putting a lot of effort, and so of course I will accept it. Absolutely, this is a phenomenal piece of work here. And then I want to make sure that it has all the parts to it. So I can take a look and see, okay, did they follow each step? Here, an explanation of why they chose to do this painting, it looks like. And I have 2 images that they sent me here. I don't know if one of them is, oh, this is the before and after chart that they needed. And so then I can go ahead and say, you know, I could send them their score, 20 out of 20, for example, and I can return it back to them. Return this submission. Cool. And so now they will be notified and can check the grade you left. And then she'll know that she went ahead and she got this score. And if I want to go ahead and make comments, I can say something like, you know, proud of you. Now, this is not a comment that's very specific, detailed, or robust in any way. This is just an encouraging one. But I could say, I really appreciate the materials you used, such as that painting paper. Love the colors you chose as well. And I could go ahead and take a look and say, I feel happy to know that I created something that shows, represents how much I love and appreciate my loved ones. And so one of the things that I'm also noticing, which this is absolutely beautiful, is she's missing something. The only part left is to use literary language that describes why you appreciate your family. And this was leading into the poetry we're going to be working on this quarter. And then I go to post. Beautiful, now she got that post. Fantastic. Okay, so let's go and let's get out of here. And I can continue to message and connect with these other students, which this is a wonderful organizational way to kind of keep track of things. It's an absolute game changer, really. It just makes life so much easier. And as I said, you can go ahead and you can put all types of, so this is the link from earlier that I sent students about 2 new book options. And so on Audible right now, they're giving free audiobooks, and I have the classic Alice in Wonderland, and it's read by Scarlett Johansson. I'm excited to listen to this one with her. She's an amazing actress, so I can't wait to hear her performance. And here's one that I love. It's called Circuit to Freak, and it's a totally different genre. It's the horror genre. And then they go ahead, and if they're like, I can't find it, I don't know what you're talking about, I can go ahead and copy the link. I can go into Class Dojo, for example, and I can go into, for those who are using Class Dojo, I can go and, let me refresh here, I think it was on story. I'll go ahead and go to messages, and I can copy and paste. So if I go to messages here, wait, I could have done the class story as well, but let's say it's a specific student. I'll go ahead and go to new message, and I can go to whoever that specific student is, and then I can go ahead, or I can just go to all parents if I wish, and I can click that link, and I can send a message saying, here's a link to the new material. Nice and easy. Okay, so now let's go ahead and let's get into Go Guardian, excuse me, where that plays a very pivotal role here. And so I will go back to, let's see. I'm going to leave it as is actually right now. I'm going to go to Go Guardian. So let's see if I can go to Go Guardian. Oh, no, that's not what I want to do. Go Guardian. Yes. Okay, cool. Now, if you have already this set up, your life will be it'll be super easy. Hopefully, you already have this signed in. If you don't, mine's already set to sign into my Google account to make my life nice and easy. So let's see. It logs me in. I'm gonna see if I can actually sign out for a second here. So see if I can help you guys better. So I'll go to sign in, and most of the time it'll have this pop up, and I have it connected to my Google account. Again, that's just the way I prefer it. So it's gonna ask me which one. That's my educator's email, my teacher email, and now I can go ahead and have access to my classrooms. They're already set up here. However, I want to go in and add one just to walk you through it. So what you would do is, let's go to Google Classrooms first. Let me see if I can go to my the page with all of my classrooms. That would be best case scenario here. Oh, classes, of course. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and create a new class. Now you can join a class if you wish. It's a class that already exists. You can go ahead and ask for the your coworker's code. And you can also, this is the way a principal or another coworker can join your class. We're going to go ahead and create a classroom here. So I'm going to create a classroom called Crazy Reading Time. Or let's call it Crazy Story Time. Okay, I'm going to skip section, go to subject, and I can say language arts. Or no, just do reading. Oop, let me spell that correct. Here we go. Expository reading, we'll just go reading, and I'll put my classroom here, 102, and then, bam, create. So So give it a few moments. Now, this is, pretty self-explanatory, pretty easy steps here. And here it is, and of course I could always select a theme. If I want something different here, I can do that. I can pick whatever I want. So let's say you want, this looks like, I don't know, some crazy story time. Let's just pick that one for the heck of it. Okay, and here's a code. So, what we want to go ahead and do is we want to get people here. And so one way to get people here is I can click here and I can go ahead and copy paste this code. There's no classwork yet because this is brand new, and so there's no people here yet. So here are the two ways. There's more than two ways. Here's my suggestion. You can click here and you can go ahead and invite students by their email. That's going to be very time consuming. So I personally wouldn't. There's no way I would do that. Now, if I already have a Google Classroom set up, what I can't do, unfortunately, is even though I have these other classrooms, I can't take my students from here, and I can't. Let's see. I can email this student this new code. That I can do, but I can't transfer them over. I went ahead and I had a talk with tech support, and they just said there's no feature to do that at the moment. So I can go ahead and just say, hey, here's the new code, copy paste, please go ahead and join this new classroom. Now, that being said, let's say you just don't have anyone. Let's just say this is your first time doing this, and you're like, oh my god, I don't have any people, I don't have any Google Classrooms. If you have Class Dojo, I would just go to all parents and say, hey, this is the classroom. Here is your classroom. Classroom code. Please use it to log in. And then you send. And hopefully you have, Class Dojo would just make your life so much easier if you had to do it. If you didn't have your Google Classroom set up yet. Okay, so now, let's go to the Classroom. And now we can go to our Go Guardian. Now, many of you guys probably already have your Google Classrooms. Awesome. So let's add that classroom. Click Add. And we're going to ignore this here. And we're going to go to Add Google Classroom. And let's go ahead and see what we have here. Crazy story time. Bam. And there it is. Now, sync students from Google. Let's take a look here. Now, of course, the problem with it, now all the students would pop in, except, why don't we have any students? Well, you already know there's no students here. Excuse me. Let me go to people. There's no students here. So this is where this is so important. You want to get this code if you already don't have it set up if you already don't have any students to your Google Classroom, you want to go ahead and mail it to them, email it to them, or use something like Class Dojo. If you already have all your students, oh, piece of cake, then all you have to do is sync from students from Google. I'd love to show you that, except I already have everyone already uploaded from my other classrooms. So these guys, this crazy story time, I already have, so let's say Math Madness, I already have my students set up here. So if I go here, once you click sync students from Google, they're all going to pop up. And that's it. Then you will have access to Go Guardian connected to your Google Classrooms, and you'll be able to go ahead and see students in action. So if I go to this session, I'll go ahead and get to see if there's anyone on right now. This is later hours, but I have some students that are still on, and I get to go ahead and provide them with support. So I have this student who's working on an assignment from my classroom, or they were looking at an assignment, excuse me, and about their AR book called Kid Normal. That is an audiobook. So in any case, that's it. So I just want to focus on how to connect your Google Classroom to Go Guardian, and there you have it. There you guys have it. So hopefully this video has served you, made your life easier. Wish all my educators, wish all my parents, all my families the best of luck.